Hello there, third graders. It's Miss Hess here, and I have a fantastic nonfiction book that will go along with your weather and climate unit that you're currently working on. You can see the cover of the book, electronic book, this week again. It's called What is Climate? And it's by Ellen Lawrence. And I bet you've already guessed that it's probably a nonfiction book, right? Absolutely correctamundo. Okay, so here we are at our table of contents. Table of contents are found in nonfiction books. They always tell us what's coming up, what topics that there are in the book. So maybe you are doing some research and you have several sources that you're looking at. Maybe you're studying tropical climates. Well, in that case, when you open your table of contents, you could just go ahead and turn to page 12. But today we are going to go through the entire book and learn some cool stuff, hopefully, that maybe you didn't know, or maybe it will add to your current knowledge. Okay, welcome to Death Valley. It is summer in Death Valley, California. There has been no rain for months and it is very hot. The weather is not unusual, however. Death Valley is part of a desert. Its climate has been hot and dry for thousands of years. So we have special text box in this book. They look like they're on notebook paper. It's kind of covered a little bit by my picture. I will read those, but I will not read all of the captions. And captions tell us what the picture is about. I'll let you guys do that as we go through it, okay? So this text box says, some parts of Death Valley get only about 2 inches of rain in a whole year. Weather and climate. So is weather the same thing as climate? What do you say? It's not, right? No, weather is what happens in one place on a single day or over a few days or weeks. When it rains or snows, people say the weather is wet. When it is very warm outside, people say the weather is hot. Climate, on the other hand, is the type of weather a place has for over 30 or more years. For example, people say Death Valley has a desert climate. And I learned something from this book today. I didn't realize that this was the definition of climate. That the key factor is that the weather has been the same for 30 or more years. Okay? And in our text box here, temperature. How hot or cold it is outside is measured with a thermometer. On a cold winter day, a thermometer might show a temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. On a hot summer day, it might show 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and we know that 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the freezing temperature, right? That's when, if there's moisture in the air, that rain would turn to, you got it, snow, right? Figuring out climate. To figure out what type of climate a place has, scientists look at many years of weather records. The records include daily temperatures of how much precipitation fell, if any. So precipitation is what, guys? Right, moisture. So that could be hail, rain, snow, sleet, right? Over 30 years, scientists may find that one area has hot summers and snowy winters. Another area might be hot all year with very little rain. Scientists who study climate are called climatologists. And I love this picture of the meerkats who live in the Kalahari Desert in Africa. I love meerkats. They're so cute. They're silly. Cold, hot, wet, or dry. There are many different types of climate. Some areas have a cold climate, while others have a hot climate. Some places get lots of rain, while others get almost none. Climate is what makes some places, deserts, and others rainforests. In a hot place with so little rain that it's hard for plants to grow, a desert develops. In a hot, very wet climate that is just right for plants, a rainforest grows. And then over here, our polar bear, me thinking about that polar bear from last week, right? Wild animals have bodies that are right for the climate in which they live. Animals that live in cold climates, such as polar bears, have very thick fur to keep them warm. You guys remember what that's called in nature when their bodies change to go along with the climate of the region? Right, adaptations, right? Okay. A tropical climate. A hot, wet climate is called a tropical climate. In these places, the temperature may stay around 80 degrees Fahrenheit for most of the year. About 75 to 100 inches of rain may fall every year, too. The Amazon rainforest in South America has a tropical climate. About 40,000 different types of trees and other plants grow there. Okay, and I'll let you guys read the little captions for the pictures. I had to look up how to say that word. It's pronounced katydid. I thought maybe it was katydid, but it's katydid. I looked it up on electronic dictionary. Rainforests are good places for animals to live because they offer shelter and plenty to eat. Over 2 million different types of insects live in the Amazon rainforest. A hot desert climate. In a hot desert climate, the temperature may reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter. It is so dry that it might not rain for months. As a result, plants and animals have to find ways to make water last longer. Barrel cactuses can soak up enough water from a good rain to stay alive for several years. Many animals, such as the desert tortoise, live underground to avoid the daytime sun. They leave their homes to find food at night when it's cooler. Okay, and then over here, our little text box. Love these little text boxes. They give us a little bit more information that support what we just talked about. So this little text box supports what we just talked about on the previous page, right? A desert is a place that's very dry because it gets less than 10 inches of rain or snow in a year. Some deserts are hot and dry, while others are cold and dry. So the common denominator is what? Dry. So what I mean by denominator is what's the common thing they have in that they share? Dry, right? Deserts are dry. A super cold climate. Near the North Pole, the cold, dry desert-like climate has created bare land called the tundra. Hardly any rain and only a few inches of snow fall each year. Winter temperatures may be as low as minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. That is crazy cold, right? The rocky ground stays frozen for most of the year, thawing a little each summer. No trees can grow in this climate. Only small, low-growing plants can survive the cold and lack of water. And then our little text box talks about the caribou that are all over both pages. Caribou, a type of deer, live in large herds on the tundra. When snow covers the ground, they use their hooves to dig for plants to eat. And caribou are also known as, yes, reindeer. We call them reindeer. All right, and then on that map up top there, it shows where the tundra is found. So that's way up north, right near the North Pole. Not too hot, not too cold. Places with a temperature climate. Oh, sorry, Miss Hess made a mistake. So good readers, back up and reread, right? Places with a temperate climate do not have super hot or super cold temperatures. As the seasons change, the weather changes. It's warm in spring and hot in summer. Fall is usually cooler than summer, and winter is cold. Most people in North America live in areas with a temperate climate. And as we do here in Germany, right, we have a temperate climate here. Although, our weather is changing over time. right? As the planet is heating up, we find that we're having much hotter summers than we used to in Germany, and much milder winters. Like this last winter, we hardly had any snow, right? In an area with temperate climate, it usually rains on and off all year. In winter, it might snow. Climate record breakers. Some places have a climate that's extreme. Check out these record-breaking climate events. The map shows where these extreme events took place. Okay? So we're going to read through these together. Here in South America, the driest place on Earth is in an area of the Atacama Desert in Chile, South America. Not a single drop of rain has ever been recorded there. I can't even imagine what it must look like. Wow, you can kind of tell by the picture, very desolate, right? Just nothing. The coldest place in the world is Antarctica. In 1983, a temperature of minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit was recorded here. That's the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Very cold. And then here, one of the wettest places on Earth is Cherrapunji, a village in India. It holds the record for the most rain in a single year. Almost 1,042 inches measured in 1861. Holy cow, that is a lot of rain, right? And the hottest temperature ever recorded in Africa is 136 degrees Fahrenheit. This measurement was taken in 1922 in El Azizia, Libya, located in North Africa. Wow. Pretty interesting stuff. Okay, and so this is the last couple of pages of the book. It just gives us some ideas, maybe that you could do a little project, which we are not going to do. But that's what I like about nonfiction books. It offers other areas of learning that you can explore, right? So that's one thing that you could do. Practice being a animal scientist. Kind of interesting. And then the science words, we call this also a glossary, right? In nonfiction books, it gives us definitions of different words that we've read through that are usually defined in a nonfiction book by the context, the words around it, right? We learned what desert was by reading the words that describe the desert. Okay, precipitation wasn't really defined in that book. I remember when I hit that, I just told you guys precipitation is moisture, right? So anyway, that's where we would find the glossaries at the end of our nonfiction books. And finally, the index. Okay, like if we want to look up something specific, so like about a rainforest, it has the page numbers where we would find references to rainforests. And then also where you can read more other books. You could read about climate, etc. So, I wish you all a good day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.